What's up, conscious creatives and artists? I am back again with another video to help us grow and develop as artists and to live an abundant life as artists. As I've said and always say, we are the ones we've been waiting for. The shift is here, the time is now. So let's jump into it. This video today is all about the art of selling art. But before I do, let me just introduce myself. My name is Maisha Francis. I'm an artist, I'm a teacher, I'm a curator, and most of all now at this point in my career, I'm a coach. I'm an artist coach for conscious creatives and artists and those of us who know that we are put here to help inspire and uplift the world through art. And so today I just want to jump right into this video about the art of selling art because I know that this is a tough business and it can be very confusing and it can feel very overwhelming and it can feel very lonely at times, right? And people begin to buy into this thing of the starving artist. But I'm here to tell you that you can figure this out. You can do this. I'm messing with some links down here, trying to make sure I pull up my notes because I don't want to leave anything out that I want to put together a little resource, a free resource I'm going to upload in a little while called 7 Steps to a Profitable Art Career. And I'm going to have that for you available as a free resource. As soon as I upload it, I'll drop it down below in the comments section so you can get it. But today I just want to talk about, and it'll of course it'll have several different things like knowing your mission, how to tell your story, all those kinds of things, telling your story and the importance of that. Because even I didn't know that starting out, but that is super important. But let me just go back to one of the things that jumped out at me today that I really wanted to just share it quickly. I wanted to get it out here to y'all. And that's that you must learn the business of selling art if you want to make a living as an artist. Okay, so you can't just keep flying by the seat of your pants or think that you know what a piece should be priced based on what you're seeing out there or in the market or whatever. So many artists get confused, overwhelmed, and deeply discouraged by slow or no art sales. It happens to it happened to me. It happens to me at times, which is why I have multiple streams of income within my art business. And most artists go through this all the time. I'm talking about artists who sell work at $300 all the way to artists who sell work at $20,000. All artists go through these up and down slumps of why isn't my art selling? How can I sell more art? One of the biggest things that artists do to gauge the price of their work is that they compare what another artist is selling or what a piece at a similar size is selling for without understanding that every artist's market and financial goals are uniquely different. So if you're selling market in a small, let's say a small little town, and you're not doing any marketing, you're not doing any promoting, you're not doing any shows or anything like that, or maybe you do a couple of local shows and you know that the median income of that area is not as high as say the median income in Beverly Hills, then you're in two different markets. And pricing a piece at $50,000 in that market might just be defeating the whole purpose of you even leaving the house because that market might not be able to support that. So just because an artist can sell an 8 by 10 for $50,000 doesn't mean that you can do the same thing in your market. So you really have to consider who you're selling to, where you're selling, all of definitely those things. And so, yeah, I put here in the notes that the worst thing an artist can do is guesstimate the price they would like to sell their work based on what other artists are selling their work for. That is a no-go, right? And just to be a little bit vulnerable, I'll share something I did. I did that. I'm gonna just say it. I'm gonna put it out there. When I first started my business, I had after 6 months, I moved my gallery downtown to the Arts District in New Orleans. And when I opened, it was packed. I mean, I had a lot of people. I didn't sell anything because the prices were all over the place and they didn't really even make sense. I didn't know anything about the art business. I hadn't interned anywhere. I hadn't done any research on pricing. I just thought, oh, okay, that gallery is selling that work for this price. I'm going to put the same price on mine, right? But not understanding that, a whole bunch of things go into it. And I'm going to talk about this right now: skill level, marketing, clientele. I already said it, region, personal financial goals, and so much more. It takes an abundance of insight, patience, and tenacity to understand where you should price your work and where you should enter. So, how do you start? The first thing you want to start doing is doing your numbers. You want to make sure you sit down and you understand what it costs you to make this work of art. That's supplies and materials and your time. That's your base, right? And when you're first starting out, there is nothing wrong for selling your work at the cost of supplies and materials and your time. Let me say that again. When you are first starting out, there is nothing wrong. Actually, that is a great business model to sell your art at the cost of supplies and materials and your time. Do not let your family and your friends buck you up to think that, oh, this piece is so good, it should be $5,000. Huh? And artists do that all the time. And I also, and one of the things that I have in this document that I created is that a lot of new and young artists never even consider skill level. They just think about, oh, well, that size piece is this amount. But the skill level isn't there. I did the same thing, right? And people, real collectors, they can recognize different things like harmony and balance and contrast. They might can't say it, they might can't express it, but they know a good work of art. They know what speaks to them and what moves them. And so if you have a face that's kind of unproportioned, unless you meant to do it that way and it's kind of obvious that the pieces all working together, like they know they know that this piece wasn't done by a professional artist who's been working for a long time. It's obvious to see. Maybe it's not obvious to your family and friends who say, oh yeah, that's great. And so now you have this piece priced at $5,000 and it's not selling because people who like and love art and look at art can see that something is going on with that face or that hand that I can't quite understand. And you can tell that the artist didn't really quite mean to do it. They just didn't know how to do it properly. Even in abstract work, I went to a gallery actually literally today, and as I was walking around, I was looking at the pieces that were done by professionals, and then I stepped in this one little room, and it was still all abstract. And I'm looking around, and I'm thinking, this stuff isn't, quite the same level. And sure enough, the guy came behind me. He said, "Oh, these, I didn't without even asking. I guess he kind of saw me just kind of looking, and he said, "Oh, these are the kids' work. These are the pieces of the kids that we work with." So understand this: collectors and people who are buying art and looking at art all the time, they know. So you have to make sure that you're developing your skill level so that um, so that your pricing can increase and rise. Also, to speak to that, as you develop your clientele and you have more demand, yes, you then begin to increase the price of your work because your time is only so much. So let me go back. I know when I started talking about doing your numbers. So not only do you want to consider the time, your supplies and materials, and your time, you also want to set your own personal financial goals. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing, right? Your goal is to keep working and to keep doing so profitably, as well as taking care of yourself and being abundant, right? So if your goal is $50,000 a year or however much it is a year, then you know how much you need to make per month. And then you know how many hours a day you have to put into your work. and then how many pieces you can create to get to that monthly number. All right. So that's just a little tidbit into learning the business of selling art. There's so much more in regards to, artists always want gallery representation. Well, how do galleries work? What are they looking for? You know, that's a whole other video in and of itself, and we'll talk about that because sometimes people are disappointed and are either proposing galleries or art dealers and not understanding what their business model is. So you have to understand what their business model is before you even approach. It's not just about, putting a piece up on the wall and giving you a show. It's not that. It's so much more. There's marketing. There's, clientele. What do the current clientele want? What does the current market want? Right? It's all of that. And if you're painting abstract seascapes, but the market wants abstract landscapes, right? That's different. That's not in line with what they're doing. So anyway, we'll talk about that later. I just wanted to jump in here real quick and talk about the fact that you have to learn the business of selling art. I know that most artists just want to create, but you get frustrated when you can't keep creating because things are stacking up because you're not selling anything, right? So we'll dive into that deeper. That's all I really have for today. I just want to wish everybody peace and love and much strength and power on this journey. I know it's not easy, but you can do it. I promise you, you can do it. So, with that said, again, my name is Maisha Francis. I'm an artist, I'm a teacher, I'm an art coach. You can definitely work with me. You can visit my site at mfrancisgallery.com/work with me for more info about the coaching programs and things I have. I would love to help you. So drop a comment. Drop a comment also below if you have some feedback or want to say something on this subject. And if this video helped you, please like, share it with your other art friends, and subscribe to this channel. And I will see you on the next video, y'all. Bye.